What is up, everybody? It is Unseen Strike coming at you with a 2v2 on Ice Flows. This is Dawn of War Soulstorm. We have myself here playing as the Space Marines, and that's the Dark Angels livery. We have our nasty dog here playing as the Necrons. And then our opponents, we have Rick playing as the Dark Eldar. He's across from me, the Space Marines. And then we've gotten the Sisters of Battle with Dudeface McGee. Alright, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit, again, as always. Just the build-up phase is always going on. And let's see here. Space Marines going power. Force Commanders obviously on the way. Dark Eldar are positioning themselves to take the point fast. Same with the Sisters of Battle across the way. And here we go. The first action is already kicking off. The scouts are trying to harass these mandrakes, although these scouts better back up. The mandrakes will win in melee combat. But I mean, as long as the scouts keep kind of kiting away, they should be fine. And look at this. The Sisters of Battle are really bringing in the heat now. And the Dark Eldar are now being forced away. They got to get out of there. The Force Commander is going to come in, and if he hits them with that power sword, it's over. Well, bam! There they go. And then look at this from the Dark Eldar player. We have Hellions coming in. These are a little bit heavier melee infantry, and they're very quickly, so it's much more difficult to kite with them. And then if we look over here, the Necrons are now deciding to kind of push out and look for this little point, and the Sisters of Battle are not having it. What are you doing here, nasty dog? Your workers are getting chopped up. And there we go. The first victory of the day goes to the Sisters of Battle. And where is this Force Commander going? It looks like he's just running right to base. And these Space Marine squads will be able to kind of stand up in melee against the Hellions. Again, not a really good prolonged engagement for either side. Both sides are going to take a lot of damage. Look at that sink kill going on there. That Space Marine just kicked that Hellion off the raider. Good for him. And again, these Hellions do a little bit more melee. Let me actually double check that. Space Marines are doing... I didn't see that. Yeah, the Space Marines are doing 32 to 39 melee damage. The Hellions are doing 40 to 46. So the Hellions will eventually win. And look at that, they're being pushed off. Look at the Sisters are starting to really build up a big army here. We've got a Canonist. We've got, what is that, 2 squads of Sisters of Battle. And let me go ahead and see over here. What is this? A Necron that's just kind of turtling up here. Looks like he's just getting gens on gens on gens. I don't see a summoning core going down yet, so it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any kind of, just a lot of Necron warriors. I was going to say, if we get a summoning core, maybe we'll go ahead and see some Flayed usage. But look at this, the Force Commander is still in base for these Dark Eldar. And the Dark Eldar, interestingly enough, did not get an infantry, or I believe a blood hall is what it's called. And so they only have vehicles. So, and they've got their armory upgrade here as well. And the Force Commander is being chased down by these Hellions and these Reaver jet bikes. Again, these are very heavy anti-infantry. But look at this, the Space Marine actually got a turn here. That is going to deter any kind of Hellion play from the Dark Eldar. And it looks like the Space Marines actually did manage to decap this point, so I guess it's a small victory for them. Obviously, the Dark Eldar want that back. The Space Marines are trying to come up to contest, but with these Hellions here, this is just too much. And if you look here, the Dark Eldar have these glowing weapons. That is poison. So that's doing a lot of damage over time, even when they're not in melee combat. And yeah, look at this. Space Marines are forced right off. What else does a Space Marine player have coming down here? Doesn't seem like anything, so maybe some kind of tech. Let me see if I can switch over to his view. And what do we got? He's teching up to tier 2 now. Listening posts are just going up. And it doesn't look like anything else. The Dark Eldar player could maybe go north and help the Sisters, but it looks like the Sisters are content to sit here, so maybe they don't really need as much help as I'm letting on. We have 3 Necron Warrior squads here. Now, Necron Warrior squads are free, but looks like Nasty Dog is reinforcing this Necron squad here, so gearing up for a fight. And there is the Summoning Core, so we can maybe potentially see some Flayed ones. Maybe we'll get a level 1 or a tier 1 upgrade for the Necron so they get a little more health and damage. Looks like a donation here. Ares received 0 power from Unseen Strike. Well, I don't even know what's going on there. And oh, look at this. Nasty Dog has brought over his Necron Lord, and looks like we're going to see a little bit of a double team here on the Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar are now digging in, and what are the Sisters doing? They're still just kind of sitting here right now. Oh, they are now trying to tech up. They're getting an armory, so maybe we'll see some kind of Celestians once they tech up to tier 2, or maybe even some Seraphim squads, which are very overpowered in my opinion. They're jetpack units that can move around. They've got dual-wield bolt pistols. They can pack a punch if you have the upgrade. And look at this, Necron's now going tier 2, still getting as many gens as possible. What else is going on? It looks like, yes, it looks like the Necron player is getting the disruption field. Necrons get a little bit of a buff for their health and damage. That's a good upgrade choice. And what else is going on? The Dark Eldar player is... Are they also attacking at tier 2? No. the Dark Eldar is not. Dark Eldar is getting the ranged damage upgrade for the Dark Eldar units, and that does not affect the vehicles. So the Reapers don't, or the Reaver jet bikes here don't get that upgrade. Only the Hellions, Mandrakes, unfortunately, do not have any kind of ranged weaponry. So this is a very specific kind of upgrade. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. But, oh, look at this! Sisters of Battlers are now beginning the engagement, and the Necron player can kind of just walk through this. I mean, look, they've got the tier 1 upgrade. They're kind of surviving a little more. They're picking off sister models here. Yes, the Canonist is there, and look at this, the Necrons are forcing back the Sisters of Battle. There they go, look at them getting just chopped down by all that Gauss fire. And the Necron player is not pursuing. I feel like maybe you could probably do a little bit more damage, especially with the Necrons having that upgrade. Press your advantage while you can, and this is forcing the Dark Eldar player to kind of come over and support. And yeah, the Sisters of Battle, I don't think they should be pushing. They should probably have waited for the Dark Eldar to come help. And look at this, now melee is definitely going to engage. The Dark Eldar does not want any part of that battle. They're trying to pull back as best they can. And yeah, again, these Necrons are just... Oh, and the Necrons were just recalled back. That's a Necron ability once they reach tier 2. They can recall to any Necron structure. And it's a free ability, but it takes a lot of time to recharge. And look at this, Dark Eldar just putting on a little bit of pressure here. There's not really a lot that the Necron player can do right now. And let's see again, what is going on here? The Necrons are content. I heard a Dreadnought come down. This is a Hellfire Dreadnought. Alright, so this is a good choice. There's a lot of blob infantry here. That that Hellfire Dreadnought will definitely put out some AoE attacks. Yeah, there you go. The Reaver jet bikes don't want to take that. That's unnecessary damage. Although they could start picking off some Necron warriors. The Necrons are slowly reinforcing. Oh, a turn going up, so the Necrons look like they're going to dig in. And what is our Space Marine doing? He's still sitting here. We've got a Space Marine squad coming down. Oh, and what is this? A land speeder. Okay, good. So this is going to be able to start picking off some of the lighter infantry that the Dark Eldar can field. And let's see, yeah, their Hall of Blood is just going up now. This is a very late Hall of Blood. Generally, you'd want to get an Archon, maybe some of their main tier infantry. I can't remember the names of them right now. Maybe we'll see if we get a couple of them out. I'm going to speed it up again a little bit here. Space Marine players now just getting a barracks. And what about the Sisters? What are they doing? Looks like the Sisters of Battle are getting all heavy bolter upgrades. And then their veteran superiors, so they kind of want to stay in a more ranged attack stance against these Necrons. I feel like that's dangerous. If a Flayed One squad comes down, or the Necron Lord comes over here and does a Solar Pulse, they won't be able to fire, and it's going to be game over for those units. And look at this. It looks like the Dark Eldar have provoked the Space Marines for the last time. Space Marines, oh, the Space Marines don't like what they're seeing. They're pulling back as well. And it looks like this is kind of a turtle. All 4 players actually look like they're turtling. Seen a lot of gens go down for the Sisters. Dark Eldar are just now getting their slave chambers up, and the Dark Eldar player actually went for Scourge. So a lot of range from both of these both of our opponents. Heavy bolters, a lot of Scourge. If we were to tie these units up in melee, this would be big problems for both armies. And look at this, a lot of 2 missile launchers on the Space Marine squad. So it looks like they're trying to take out maybe these Reavers if they can, maybe the Tower of Loathing listening post. And this little beacon right here, I believe, is an ability from the Hellions. It lets them see whatever this unit sees. This double plasma guns here, this will be a good idea to pick off these Hellions and maybe the Mandrakes, but we need some kind of cannon fodder. Ooh, some Immortals over here from the Necrons. And what are we going on? Chaplain coming down. Okay, I like that. What else? Another land speeder. The target finders, so that's going to be the range damage. And there goes the greater summoning core from the Necrons. I'm going to speed this up again just a little bit. And here we go. Battle is now commenced. Yeah, look at those Immortals ripping right through all these Reavers. We got the land speeders up front. The Necron, where's the Necron Lord? There he goes. He's teleporting in now. And there we go. He's going to disrupt in the back line. This Force Commander, though, he needs to pull back. And there we go. The Immortals are now going to be picked off. The Space Marine rocket launcher teams are definitely trying their hardest here to try and take out as many of these Reavers as possible. Look at the Chaplain right at the front lines. There goes another Reaver going down. You kind of want to preserve these. The Necron Lord looks like he's stuck here with all these Hellions. And there's also invisible Mandrakes here. This is a little tactic you can do with any kind of stealth units or infiltrated units in Warhammer. If you can, go ahead and just put your units around something. So say like an Imperial Guard Baneblade is a very large tank. You can swarm it with cultists, and as long as they're infiltrated, you can put your units on hold position. That will effectively block the unit's pathing from getting out. And look at this Tower of Loathing. It's actually survived. This is a bit of a mistake. I feel like the Space Marines just go forward and just tap it once and it'll go down. That's a lot of more income that the Dark Eldar player, would love. The Space Marine would really want to deny that. And yeah, so here's some of those Seraphim squads. And again, the Sister player is just confident to just sit here and just let the Necron player tech. You don't want to let the Necrons get teched. And look at this, they're going tier 3 now. And this Hellfire Dreadnought is still sitting here. Looks like there hasn't been much action. The Forbidden Archive's coming, so we should definitely be seeing some Forbidden Sun or the Solar Pulse pretty soon. And let's see, again, everybody's kind of just teching, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. What's coming out from this is more Seraphim squads. Yeah, this is very odd. I'm surprised that we didn't get some Repentia squads, which are a bit heavy melee. Something to kind of screen in front of all these heavy bolters. You kind of want to balance your armies out a little bit. I mean, here comes these Scourges. These are heavy ranged infantry, and they're upgraded with Dark Lances, which are effective versus vehicles. And look at this. The sister player is actually being smart. I'm a big advocate for this. Nobody expects a real good placed minefield. So he put 3 minefields down there, and he's holding this relic. And let's see, what else do we got? Where is this Predator tank going? I heard Terminators queued as well. We've got Battle Cry, we've got Apothecaries. Terminators are reinforcing. So you don't want to let the Space Marines go into late game either. And look at this, here we go. So there's that Solar Pulse. All these ranged units now can't shoot. And look at the Space Marine players coming up, and they're taking shots with the missile launcher to try and take out as many of those vehicle units as they can. And what is the Dark Eldar playing? So they got the Witch Cult. Anything else significant coming out? Maybe some Raiders would do good. I feel that would be okay. Look, they're going tier 3 now. It's a little slow. They built a lot of army units, but they didn't really use it, the Dark Eldar player. And this listening post is going to go down now. This Librarian is kind of supporting the squad here. And look at this. We finally have some movement from the sisters. I think they're finally feeling confident that they can push out. And here we go. These Seraphims in the back are actually good, but I feel like they would be better in the front. You can kind of move forward and kind of harass, do a little bit of screening, and you can kind of fly away. And they can move and shoot at the same time. That's probably one of the only units in the game that can really do that effectively. Look at this. This Necron Lord is punching down this Tower of Loathing. The Necron Lord does power up and gain more health as your Necron Monolith levels up. So if you were to get like a full-blown Monolith, the Necron Lord gets even stronger. And that goes the same as you're going up the tiers. Pariahs are cute. Pariahs would absolutely shred through this army. I mean, maybe the Celestine squad in the back would be a problem, but they're more anti-vehicle, but they're also very effective versus heavy infantry. And look at this. Here's some of those flayed ones. If you can get some flayed ones in right behind the Sisters battle line, you'll do just fine. Look at these scouts, the heroic champions of the chapter. You've earned your battle gear today, neophyte. Look at that. Decaptor from the Dark Eldar, Xenos scum. These Hellions are still being held at bay. And look at this. The Necron Lord is just phased out here and attacking invisibly. Oh no! No, Scout! No! You were gonna get your armor! No! The sig kill from the Hellion. And that's it. The Necron Lord is pissed. And look at this, Talos. Okay. And we've also got an Archon here. Again, I feel like this Dark Eldar could be pushing through. We've got Grey Knights now. Heavy Bolters coming up. Both players kind of just, both teams are just turtling. Look, the Necrons are now pushing away, and this is something that the Necron player can do because of that phase shift ability we saw earlier. They could just kind of get back to their base in a moment's notice, but their base is now very undefended. We've got just one Hellfire Dreadnought, some Immortals, and some Flayed ones, which there's no vehicles here from the Sisters, so those Immortals aren't going to really do too much. But look, these Necrons now are going to screen in front of the Space Marine army, and let's see, here they go. Looks like we're going to gear up for some kind of attack. And then these Assault Marines are a nice choice. You can kind of fly in and catch the Scourge. But they're also jump troops as well, so they could fly away as needed. And this is a third squad of Scourge, so he's going very heavy range DPS. This is a second Talos as well. So I like that he's got the Taloses in his army. And look at this. The Archon is kitted out with 3 Incubus bodyguards. The more Incubus you put, or more Incubi, excuse me, that you put in the squad, the stronger he gets. And now let's go ahead and see what are the Sisters doing. I see flying in. Look at this, 5 lightning craft. Okay, so these lightning fighters are really good against infantry and other fighters, flyer units, or bombers, I guess, in the case of people fighting orcs or Imperials. So these units are pretty decent against aircraft. I don't know why the Sisters player got 5 of them, no less. That's a lot of vehicle cap that could be going into immolators, or even like rhinos. Maybe even, I believe it's whatever that organ tank is with the artillery. Let me see. Is it? Yeah, there's the immolators coming now, but I feel like the immolators should have been out already. And look at the Scourge are now forced back. When the Necron Lord is here, all units around him are cloaked. So now these Dark Eldar players aren't even aware this is happening. There is some cloaked mandrakes kind of floating around in here, but once they're detected, they're going to be chopped up. So they kind of want to pull back. And look at this. The Necrons are just tanking perfectly. The Space Marines are now pulling into position. This would be the best time. The Sisters should either come and help out right now with this flanking force of Scourges and Lightning. They could have a nice pincer movement. I mean, the longer they wait here, the more damage they're going to do. The Dark Eldar player cannot fight this solo. This is a 2v1. And look at this. The Sisters now prompted to move into battle. But with these bolters, you're very immobile. You have to set up. And look, here's that Sisters Repentia squad that This was actually a very good choice by them. Look at this, here comes the Seraphims, they're coming in front of the screen. And look at this, the Space Marines and the Necrons are defending the tombs. And here comes the Scourges from the flank. I believe this is a morale damage penalty if you do that from the Dark Eldar, one of their global buffs. And an orbital bombardment coming down. Look at this. Bam! And look at that. The Scourge are booking it out. This is just too much heavy firepower. The Apothecary wants some action as well. Yeah, they got kind of slaughtered. But look at this. This is looking like a base race situation now. Dark Eldar are almost completely defenseless in their base. And look at this. The Necrons are now being pressed back into their tombs. What dropped down here? A Dreadnought dropped down. So this is good. But where are those Celestian squads? Celestians are not firing on the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought can do a lot of damage, right? Oh, there they go. Look at this. Look at the damage output on those. Oh, that is the most overpowered unit in the game, in my opinion. The Celestian squad. That anti-vehicle damage it has, the potential is just unlimited. But these turrets are doing a number. This Hellfire Dreadnought is still alive. And look at this. Space Marines and Necrons. Oh, there's a Soulstorm. The name of the game being dropped right here. Alright, look at this. It is an AoE attack spell, but you can kind of just walk out of it. It's pretty slow. Look at this Force Commander, though, staying up alive. That Chaplain's giving him a nice regen bonus. He's keeping it good. And let's see this. What's going on here? Yeah, these flayed ones are not happy that the Monolith just went down. And thankfully, the Necron player was able to rebuild the Monolith there. And what is going on? These 3 units of Scourge and these 5 Lightning Craft could really hit the flank very hard. And that would probably stop the assault. Oh, not anymore. There's Terminators here. There's rocket launchers up. Witch Colts are going down. There's a Predator tank over here. I mean, once you take down this Cobble Fortress, is he rebuilding over here? He's trying to. And there's a Dark Foundry. I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe the Sisters player could have... Oh. Maybe the Sisters player could have donated him some wreck. And maybe the wreck would have been able to enough to rebuild the... Cobble Fortress. And look at this Hellfire Dreadnought is still doing work. And these are those immolators we were talking about. Immolators are going to do a lot of anti-building and vehicle damage with the Melta upgrade there. And what's going on here? Here comes those Scourges. So they're going to try and harass in the backlines. Unbeknownst to them, I don't think they know that the Necron player has rebuilt. Let me check that. No, they have no idea. They haven't even seen the Space Marine player's base, so that's not good. The Dark Eldar player is now almost completely wiped out. The Soul Cage is going down. This Dark Foundry just now trying to be completed. And the Necron base is still holding. There's a lot of Necron stuff going on back here. And look at that. The Seraphims are getting in. The Confessor is buffing everybody here. The Sisters are have a lot of cool little buffs. And look at this. Look at these Scourge right now. Oh, no! There we go. That is some nerve they have jumping into the Space Marine base. But there's a lot of turrets down here. And they're going to rip the Scourge up. The Scourge really need to be targeting the Necron Monolith or maybe some gens. Even the deep orbital relay beacon. That would give the Sisters Battle player enough time. And yeah, here comes the Space Marines player. He is pissed that the Scourge are in their base. And meanwhile, the Necrons and the Space Marines up at the north side of the map are moving in to finish off the Dark Eldar and the Sisters. So we got a bit of a base race because now look at this. The Sisters are moving in on the Space Marines base. This is not good, but look at that. There was 2 squads in the Rhino. So there's plenty of firepower. The Necron Monolith is going down, but not fast enough. And let's see if the Sisters even mobilizing. They're not. Those lightning craft are still sitting in the mid. This is a huge mistake. These Immortals could just kind of walk over here and just take them all out. And let's see what's going on over here. Grey Knights leading the charge. Probably one of my more favorite units, although I feel like they're a little bit on the weaker side until they get that charge. They just kind of die very quickly for what they're supposed to be for like heavy melee infantry. I know they're very effective versus demons, but like they're charging in right at the front of the battle. They take a lot of damage. And now look at this. All these missiles are coming out, hitting this Immolator tank. This is not good. You want to keep this in the back, try and pick off these Predators if the time is ready. And look, the Seraphims are just flying right into bolters. This Librarian is leading the defense of the Space Marine base here. We've got a Hellfire Dreadnought. We have a Predator tank here. Once this Immolator goes down and the Celestians go down, the Sisters of Battle have no anti-vehicle support. So they need to pull this Immolator back right now. Oh, there it goes. It goes down. That is not good. The Hellfire Dreadnought goes down as well. So the Immolator was not a loss in vain. That little strike there was from the Confessor. It's more for infantry, though. And look at that. Word of the Emperor goes down. All of these Space Marines cannot be killed until the Librarian goes down. And there he goes. Librarian was killed. Look at that. There's an orbital bombardment coming in, knocking out all those Sisters. And look, here's the problem. Those heavy bolters cannot set up now. And the Space Marines are getting free shots in on all this right now. Look at this heavy bolters in the back. Missiles coming down. And what's going on up here? Grey Knights are still wreaking havoc. There's Necrons. And look at this. A Living Saint comes out. So now, cool thing is, those Grey Knights are very effective versus demons, which is what the Living Saint is. The Living Saint does have a pretty big health pool. And look at this. Drop pods coming in. Terminators. We got more Devastator squads in the back. And we've got a normal Dreadnought kitted out here. And look at this, the Space Marines held out. Look at this, this Force Commander is defiantly standing here, praising the Emperor for a glorious victory against those heretics of the Sisters of Battle. And so look at this, the Space Marine player could actually kind of either load up all of his units right into the drop pod and then get into the Sisters of Battle base even faster. But at this point, I don't even think that's very necessary. Maybe he needs some anti-vehicle up here. And there, these Grey Knights are going to town on this Living Saint. And there it goes, Living Saint goes down, but there's a passive on the Living Saint where if it dies, it will rebirth and be reborn with half health. So there it is. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So there we go. So now, these Necron Warriors are actually pretty good for just being meat shield infantry. And these Repentia squads actually had the right idea trying to tie up these Devastators and buy some time. But these Grey Knights just did too much work on this Living Saint, and it needs to get back. And these Terminators as well. There's not much of an answer here for that. Dreadnought is also doing a lot of work now on the Sisters base. And look at this, we've just got some Immortals sitting here. What happened to the Immortal squad over here? Oh, there's another Necron monolith going up. So the Necrons are trying to hang in there for sure. And again, these Lightning Fighters are just sitting right in the middle. I feel like that's a 5 wasted units of vehicles that could have been made into Repentia engines, I believe what they're called. Or Exorcists? Pentian engines, yeah. So I feel like these Pentian engines, if they got out much earlier, this game probably would have been a lot more balanced. Repentian engines are like Dreadnoughts on like steroids. They're double the power. And there it is. These Grey Knights are still going to town on the Living Saint here. And it's just taking so much damage. Yeah, those Grey Knights yelling about the Emperor. Feel the Emperor's wrath. Heretics. Demons. So yeah, this Immolator tank now is the living bastion of fire in the Sisters Battle base. These Terminators are still just going to town with their bolt pistols and the Reaper autocannon here. And there it is. There's one of those Pentian engines. Let's see how much damage it can actually wreak through the lines here. And there's another Dreadnought. Man, the Sisters have their work cut out for them right now. Grey Knight's not really effective against the Pentian engine, but they're going in for it. They want blood. They sense it. There goes an Immolator tank getting blown up now. Look at that. The Space Marines just have a lot of firepower kind of gathering here. And it looks like there's some Necron Scarabs coming in. It looks like they want some pieces of the action as well. Look at this. These double Pentian engines are like really causing a lot of just like havoc in the back lines of the Space Marines. Got to keep these tack squads moving around, and they're just going to get lit up right here. And there you go. The Dreadnought just punched out that one Pentian engine. This other Pentian engine here is just trying to cut down these Grey Knights. Grey Knights are just kind of holding it in place right now. And look at this. These Necron Warriors as well, just tying up these Celestians. If these Celestians got free, they could take these Dreadnoughts out. Maybe they'd have a lot more of an advantage. And oh no, look at this. This Predator coming around the flank. There's some space. There's the Force Commander and the Chaplain coming around. They're walking the long way. They probably could have just jumped in a drop pod and got there much faster, courtesy of the orbital relay. And look at this. Just green bodies everywhere right now. Dark Angels are putting the pressure on. And oh my, the bad mannerism here from Nasty Dog, putting a turret right up in the Sisters of Battle base. And the Essence of the Nightbringer. So this is an Immortal unit. This is a tier 3 unit for the Necrons after you get the Energy Summoning Core. 750 power upgrade, so it's very expensive. The Necron Lord is invincible for the duration of the spell and does very large upfront damage to single targets. So he's pretty useful to kind of just tank in front of your army. Generally in Soulstorm though, you want to get the Essence of the Deceiver, and you can spawn in a fake monolith to trick your opponents, which is also a pretty cool little ability. There goes another Immolator tank. The Force Commander just gets right back up, swinging his Demon Hammer and is shooting his Bolt Pistol around. I'm surprised the Plasma Pistol upgrade has not been finished. And there goes a Battle Cry, doubling the damage of all the Space Marines in the area. And this is looking to be a GG right now. There's just too much Space Marine firepower here. Land Speeder's even getting in there at the end. Look at that. This Dreadnought was upgraded with the last cannon on his right arm. I believe that halves the melee damage, but you get that range damage upgrade on the Dreadnought. That's a very useful ability without making them a Hellfire Dreadnought. Look at this. The Force Commander is just getting in there, smacking his hammer around. Here comes those Lightning Craft now. They're a little late to the party, but they can still do some work. And these Predator tanks will rip through these Lightning Fighters with those last cannons. Look at that. Those fighters taking huge damage. Even the Celestian squads. Oh, the Celestian squad's got Solar Burst. And there's an invisible Necron Lord here smacking away on them. This is not good. Look at this. Chaplain smacking away. Here comes the rest of the Space Marine army. And these Lightning Fighters are no match for heavy battle tanks. I mean, maybe if they went over here and started trying to pick off infantry, but there's a lot of missile launchers here. And it looks like they're kind of just debating on whether they want to fly on these brave pilots and the Lightning Fighters. No, looks like they're just content to scout around and see what's going on. And let's see. The Sisters of Battle are clinging to life right now, but the Necrons have found their base. This is revenge. And here comes some drop pods coming in. What is that, a Dreadnought? Oh, it's another Dreadnought. Here to deliver the Emperor's justice. So look at this. These Lightning Fighters are now here. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. There's multiple monoliths on the field, actually. I was going to say there's just one more, but there's another monolith. There's a Summoning Core backup. So the Necrons are already back in the game, really. Here we go. There's flayed ones down on the field. Yeah, this is a bit of irony here. This is trying to build in the Necron base. I don't think that's going to work. And look at this. These Predator tanks have caught back up with the Lightning Fighters. They thought they could hide. They could not. And look at that. Some good sportsmanship coming out from on Siege Strike. Guess it's a bit biased there. And there we go. The Lightning Fighters being taken out as well. And let's see. What is left? What is left? All right. The Ecclesiarchical Chapel goes down. And there it is. That is a GG. Nasty Dog and Unseen Strike take the game. Bit of a base race situation happening there. Let's go ahead and take a look, see if we can find any screenshots. And let's go ahead and see. Oh, we got some Terminators here. Here, this will be the screenshot right here. These Grey Knights are just staring down at the flayed ones menacingly. Let me see, can we go ahead and get some screenshots there? That looks fantastic. These Grey Knights are not having it at all. And let's go ahead and see anything else, any cool corpse piles we can look for. There's a little bit of a battle here. Let's go ahead and go check out the score screen real quick, and then that should be it for this video. Alright, let's see. Look at that. So it looks like the Dark Eldar player kind of dropped the ball a little bit, but that's fine. It happens. Dark Eldar, a very tough race to play, especially against Space Marines and Necrons. I feel like early game they had a bit more of an advantage. Sisters and the Dark Eldar, if they maybe did it like a joint push, they probably would have been a lot better. This military score is very overwhelming, but look at this. You can see the resources for the Sisters of Battle were much higher. They had a lot more technology researched. Let's check out the resources. Yeah, they had a clear advantage early game. They should have pushed it. But alright, so that's it for this game number 2. If you guys leave any feedback below, leave some comments, likes, comments, subscribe, comments. I'm really looking for comments in case you guys couldn't tell. I need some feedback. I need to know what to improve, what you guys don't like. Talk to me. I need to know this stuff, alright? Unseen Strike out of here. Thanks.